and going from there. Welcome to the Bear's Lair, where today we're doing a nice little thing that we're going to end up doing that we don't end up normally do. Last night we ended up going to see Spider-Man Brand New Day, and I wanted to do a quick little review, but here's the twist. Spoiler free. No spoilers whatsoever. Don't have to worry about any of those pesky spoilers. Since it just legitly came out today, I guess it's the official release. I don't want to be spoiling anything that could go over with that. So with that said, let's dive in and talk about what we end up having. So with this movie, we were expecting it to be a solid movie, unlike Captain America, Brand New Day. We were hoping for a better movie that came over with it. But Captain America, Brave New World. Oh man, little news and a lot of things hanging it up. Brave New World. There was a lot of revisions. There was a lot of reshoots going on. Last minute changes. And completely honest, we couldn't expect that to be the big blockbuster from Marvel that was going on. This movie, however, we didn't have any of that. So the expectations are going to be high for the show. So what did we end up seeing? Well, we ended up getting where we ended up having a solid story at development. You had solid character development. You had, well, before I get going over listening with that. So with this movie, we are expecting it to be the, well, summer blockbuster because that's what Marvel is banking on. And completely honest, it delivered. It was definitely a blockbuster movie that comes over with it. Each character ended up getting the proper time to develop what they were doing and what was going on. And honestly, the story ended up playing just as well, and it definitely continued on from the sequel over to into this one. And it was nice and solid that we ended up having. I'm trying not to go too far in depth because I know once I get wading out into that thing, I'm going to start getting into spoiler worlds, which that video will come a little bit later because I want to watch it one more time to be able to see what goes on with it. But I digress. I'm going to get back over on the topic. Spider-Man Brand New Day was one of those movies that I think is going to be a staple into the Marvel world. And it definitely opens up a bunch of avenues that you can end up seeing. There are Easter eggs that you're going to be able to find that's going to be in the movie. The acting was spot on. And like I said, the character development was amazing. So, what will we give this movie? What will we rank it? I'll go probably 8.5 to an 8. So, let's go with the lesser. Let's go with an 8. It's more reserve that goes over with it. So, it'll be 8 out of 10. And to be completely honest, if you're looking for a movie that had a strong development that's going on with it, great setup from the sequel that goes over with it. Characters getting its time to shine. Funny scenes, which we all should be expecting of a Spider-Man movie. There should be some kind of quip and some other different things that goes on with that. Don't mind that. That's a kitty cat trying to play with the screen. So this is going to be a good old one take. So I'm going to have minimum editing on this movie. But it's definitely something that I would strongly suggest seeing. And I am planning on seeing it again at some point. Biggest thing I would suggest, just to add a little bit more flavor, is to watch the one before this and then watch this. Because that will carry on over into it and that'll make you sure to understand why everything happened, what happened. There is a bunch of characters that I don't want to go into that are from different sources. So I know I'm skirting a little and no spoilers thing, but I'm not going to go too far more into it. Definitely is something that's well good to watch. If you have the family, this is definitely something good to see. I believe it's a PG-13 movie. You have some fun interactions that we have in the movie that you can end up expecting. So with that said, what do you think of it? Have you seen it yet? Let us know down in the comments down below. And also let us know what you're looking for. It's also important to say that we end up having a poll that's going on right now, trying to figure out who is going to be our future character. for the entire 2027. That's right, we're trying to get a little bit ahead of the curve and trying to get content. Right now in the poll, we have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Batman, Spider-Man, and what was the other? Oh, Thor was the other one that ended up making it into the run. So slap your vote down into that poll. That will be over in the community tab of the channel. If you don't have access to the community tab, oh, why don't you just subscribe and be able to get access to it? So with that said, thank you for watching. And until next time, we'll see you later.